Before he can start carving, Richard Chasson has to transport 46 pallets of ice from his hometown in New Brunswick. It's not some typical ice you can find on the street either. Chasson has to create his own clear ice through a meticulous process.
I'm the only ice producer in the 3 Atlantic provinces. So any carvings done, PI, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, it all ends up on my desk. These are special ice. Think of a river. If you cut a piece of ice on a river, it will be clear, okay? So there's no pressure, so the ice is nice and clear. So just reverse that process. I get a freezer plate underneath, no freezer units on the side, just on the bottom. Then I put a plastic bag in the mold, and I put 2 pumps so the water is circulating like a river, so the top doesn't freeze, it's just the bottom. So the plate freezer makes it freeze from the bottom up, and it takes 4 days.
The Ice Festival started in 2019 with just one carver. That was Chasson. He began carving ice when he was working at a hotel restaurant.
New Year's Eve, the chef said, "Oh, Richard, I bought a block of ice." And I said, "Yeah, okay." He says, "Well, we have our New Year's Eve bash." I said, "Yeah." He said, "It'd be nice if we have an ice carving." Oh, I said, "Who's doing it?" He said, "You are."
Thrown in the fire, Chasson did not melt. He has come to Dartmouth every year since the festival's debut. His favorite sculpture to make is anything with wings.
Well, I like the design. I like the effect it has, because ice, the more angles you have, the more it reflects the light. So it's like crystal. So if you do a smooth carving, it doesn't reflect as much as, you know, you're doing feathers, you're doing angles and angles and angles, so it reflects more.
Carvers here at the Ice Festival have full artistic control over what they create. The Downtown Dartmouth Business Commission organized the event. CEO Tim Rizzeco said carvers have been inspired by the audience in the past.
One of my favorite stories was one of the carvers. He was on his 5th or 6th carving, and I think he was running out of ideas in his head, and he looked at a little girl and he said, "What would you like me to carve?" And she said, "I want a butterfly." And he goes, "You're going to get a butterfly."